All right, guys, welcome back one more time here. Honcast coming at you with some 5v5 Cup number 8 action, the live rounds edition. We just had to restart the stream, but we're back. Beef and Mini Maggot here, bringing you the game as Nullstone and Bad Monkey Gaming are squaring off in the semi-finals. It's time to go. Mini Maggot, walk us through this draft.
Yeah, so Nullstone actually picked up Magmus and Glacius, and then BMG followed up with Kraken and Oogie. Oogie is quite interesting because BMG was the team that got absolutely wrecked by Oogie, and they were playing against Nullstone Gaming. So for me, this matchup is actually really, very interesting. Nullstone Gaming have actually sort of followed up as like with a Dark Lady as a counter to Oogie, and I mean on paper again it does seem to work very, very strong against Oogie, but I said that against Magebone as well. So I'm really looking forward to this matchup, honestly, to see how it's going to sort of fare out Beef.
Yeah, get those hard carries squaring off once in a while. And on the other side, I mean, the Ophelia, though, here with the Oogie is certainly going to bring something interesting to the table because she's one of those heroes that does taper off. You want to get some early pressure going with the Ophelia, knock down some towers, and really exercise when Dark Lady is weak, which is going to be,
Yeah.
you know, that 12 to 20-minute range normally.
Yeah, and I think this actually a really, really strong draft from BMG because when I've mentioned before, like if you compare Oogie to Dark Lady or to like Oogie to Magebane, is that Dark Lady and Magebane always are going to farm faster than Oogie when they pick up the when they pick up the Rune Cleaver. The one advantage that Oogie has over Dark Lady is that he can get involved in the team fights as early as possible, whereas Dark Lady she needs that the Rune Cleaver and then to pick up the Strong Unit after that because she's just too damn squishy. And then if you compare this with an Ophelia as well, they can really take the advantage of Oogie fighting early enough to take these tier 1 towers and really reduce the map control from Dark Lady because Nullstone won't be able to take those team fights. So I really do like the Ophelia pick here combined with the Oogie, and it's going to have some great synergy going into the early to mid game Beef.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. Last pick going to be coming out here for the guys in Nullstone in the next 20 seconds. Currently, they're right-clicking Lord South Forest, and it could certainly be added into this lineup.
It'd be awesome because, I mean, first of all, they need a jungler, and Nullstone Gaming have been running a lot of jungle Lord South Forest, and secondly, it can easily have a big counter effect to Oogie because obviously Oogie does a lot of damage and obviously he's quite tanky, but the reason he's so tanky is because of the Primal Surge. 60% of the damage he gets back, as health. When he's in that ulti form. But obviously with the Lord South Forest, it nullifies all healing done. So to me, Lord South Forest is kind of a big counter to Oogie. So I'm again looking forward to seeing how Nullstone Gaming can work against it. And I mean, if there's one team that knows how to beat Oogie, it's Nullstone Gaming because they were the team to actually bring Oogie into the competitive scene. So
I'm right there with you. Torture going to be the final pick right here. And a pretty strong lineup, a very strong tower pushing lineup here for the guys in Reason with some great counter initiation as well with the engineer. So I think they're going to have a pretty good time. But the guys on Nullstone, if they execute properly, are going to be in a pretty good spot to actually defend this and take it into the mid or late game.
Yeah, I mean, I think in terms of the strategy here for Nullstone Gaming is just trying to get Dark Lady as farmed as possible. And normally Oogie can definitely handle himself in terms of the late game. But with Lord South Forest on the board as well, he's going to have a very, very easy time in terms of countering Oogie. Whereas BMG, they've got probably the superior sort of team fight and pushing potential. So around, like you said, the 20-minute mark, expect BMG to really start putting the pressure onto Nullstone Gaming. And if they can find like a window or a timing before Dark Lady picks up the Rune Cleaver and the Strong Head, and then taking a lot of towers from there, then BMG are going to have a really big advantage from that. So it's going to be like an interesting strategy to sort of see if Nullstone Gaming can delay the game as much as possible to then peak at the sort of late game.
Yeah, absolutely. The guys over here from BMG they're going to want to try to extend this laning phase a little bit more. So
yeah.
So we'll see how they end up faring with that one. Whereas Dark Lady, I mean, she'd love to be able to sit down there and just farm safe in her lane, but I just don't believe they have the heroes to actually make something like that happen. Whereas the Ophelia would love to be able to just get her farm and then go knock down some towers, maybe score a kill or two for her team. But as usual, we're taking the nice competitive pause here, Mini Maggot. So how's the day over there in Britain?
It's nice actually, man. To be fair, like normally it's been raining like every day, but today was actually quite sunny and just chilled out and had like a long sleep. So I went to bed really, really late last night because of streaming, but it was good, man. It was good. How was sunny California or LA?
Yeah, it's all right. It's all right.
Steve, can we switch places?
It's a pretty nice day outside, but it's nothing to write home about.
But like my sunny day is like 20 Celsius. And yours is like 30, 40. I just want to be in sunny California. California.
I'm just looking at chat right now, and they're experiencing the unfortunate audio issues.
Oh dear.
I'm hoping that it'll get fixed up here in a second.
But going back to this game, though, like, I mean, I mentioned it a little bit in the draft, but if you sort of think about it in terms of, what team, where's their peak in terms of their items and sort of the draft? Like, Oogie, all he really needs to do to be effective is maybe pick up the icon and then go from there. Ophelia, maybe the Astrolabe and the Ring of Sorcery. Kraken, maybe the Portal Key. Like, all these items are around like 2,000 to 3,000 gold. You compare it to Nullstone Gaming, like, Dark Lady, she needs the Rune Cleaver, the Strong Head, and maybe the Abyssal Skull on top of that. That's like maybe like 6,000 gold around that amount. And so BMG are going to really peak a lot earlier. So if Nullstone Gaming, have a bad start, for example, or can't delay the game, they're going to be losing a lot of map control. So they'll definitely have to try and delay the game, as you said, Beef. Like try and maybe delay the laning phase and sort of reduce any kind of rotations from BMG as much as possible.
There you go. Stats coming out right there, and it looks like the Hellbourne team really does have a considerable advantage in. Excuse me, that's not the Hellbourne team. Okay, so that's player hero combinations. Nice, solid 61.5%, way above the Hellbourne team. So the Legion, looking good.
Yeah, I mean, it's something that they like to run a lot, though. They pick up maybe the hard carry on Beaver Banger, and then normally what you got plays kind of like the second core, and in this case, can be Lord Salforus. And he still always can be a big factor in the late game, but I think the biggest impact he's going to have is shutting down this Oogie in terms of obviously reducing his effectiveness. BMG actually looking to sort of set up some kind of aggressive pseudo tri-lane, and I think this can work very, very well because obviously they just want to reduce Beaver Banger's farm as much as possible. If you can get a late Rune Cleaver, then obviously BMG have the extending time to really make a big use of their advantage in the mid game. So I do like this decision coming out from BMG.
Haunter is rigged. Explain to me, Owned Me. Oh, his mom told him. His mom told him. I gotcha, Owned Me. Moms know all, man.
It's true. Go on, sorry.
I'm just kind of waiting for one day for like a 14 or 15-year-old like esports superstar to have his mom come with him in an event and start like screaming at the admins or something if like something doesn't go his way. Oh man,
that would be hilarious. That would be so funny.
I would love to be that admin and just open up a can of whoop ass.
That would be pretty funny.
Anyway, let's get back into this game here. It's going to be Oogie here in the middle lane, taking on the Chipper. It's a pretty neat-looking Chipper avatar. I don't mind it. I don't mind it too much at all. Dark Lady going to be squaring off against Kraken in the bottom lane. Does have that stacked regen, so you're going to see a lot of roaming coming out. Engineer already blocking one camp right here, just protecting the Ophelia just a tiny bit, whereas Glacius is way back here. We'll see if he actually tries to counter Ophelia's jungle a little bit. As there are wards coming out. No, he's beating the courier for the Rev ward.
Alright, that'd be one. But no, yeah, like I said before, I think BMG's decision to roam a pseudo tri-lane here is good, obviously, because it's going to shut down Dark Lady's farm by quite a bit. But at the same time, it's going to really force Lord Salforus to have a hard time. Like, Lord Salforus is like an incredibly passive jungler, similar to sort of a Wood Beast. And when you have an aggressive jungler like with Ophelia, you're just really going to put so much pressure in terms of them, in terms of sort of reducing their farm. And if they get that slow farm, then they're going to have their effectiveness completely nullified in that respect. Whereas Ophelia, she doesn't mind having kind of a low farm as long as you can have some kind of impact. And actually, Glacius,
yeah, could be in some trouble right here. The tornado is very slow. I don't think the tornado is going to have any kind of bearing. Well, it could actually get into this with Salforus. They could turn on to Salforus actually, but now they're going to be turning on to Ophelia. Salforus going to be knocked back. There's the freeze coming out.
God,
the tornado
damage.
Slow is there, and
jeez, man.
I think my Han crashed. Hello? Can you hear me, Mini Maggot?
Oh, yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you, man.
Yeah,
can you hear me?
My Han totes crashed.
Damn. Need a new PC, Biff.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Totally my PC's fault. Well, I would assume that was the first blood there.
Yeah, that was first blood. Not much is happening outside of that. Yeah, you just timed out your phone. So.
Pretty neat.
But I can still hear you.
It's already a technologically problem-ridden day here at Honcast. It's all right. We'll get back in there. I'm not on the arranged match for this roster. Okay, this could be a problem.
Oh, God. This tournament has had just so many technical difficulties
All
this
right.
game.
I think we're
Well,
reconnecting.
cool. But no, like I keep getting surprised though, like day in and day out by this Lord Southforest jungle. First of all, I was a little bit surprised of how fast he can farm if unattended or unaddressed by the enemy team, and secondly, his ability to really sort of ward off any attempts for like an aggressive jungle like Ophelia. Like you saw Ophelia, she just dropped instantly. Like Lord Southforest's early game damage is so much of that life tap and the Dark Lord's presence. Like it's just insane. So I guess I really thought Ophelia would be having quite an easy time boxing out this Lord Southforest. Instead, actually, it's Lord Southforest boxing out Ophelia. Now Ophelia is sort of forced back into her own jungle, and this is where it gets a little bit scary. The reason being is because obviously now it gives Lord Southforest an easy time just to farm up the jungle, but also there's an aggressive, a defensive pseudo tri-lane against this aggressive dual lane, and Engineer could easily just be feeding here time and time again. Kraken should be fine because he's tanky and he's got the escape mechanism, but for Engineer, anytime he steps out of position, that's just going to be a death for Fine here on the Engineer.
Yeah, it's going to be really difficult if they actually do get that roam coming over, and so forth. Already finished up the challenge. He's plugging along. Chug, chug, chug. He's got about 150 gold to go for boots, so I don't think he's really that deadly until then. Then again, Fine on the Engineer is not going to have boots for quite some time either.
I mean, he doesn't need boots though because he's got the slow from Glacius and the slow from Dark Lady. So if he does want to rotate over, like just one life tap would be enough for the damage just to burst him in, and also just his presence there would stop any kind of return kill from Kraken. But Kraken is rotating over to North South Forest though. No, he's just gonna come over, do a little bit of harassment, and back off.
Still some antlinks. Yeah.
Man, this camp is so cancer, by the way. Like, I actually can't stand it. Like you can't stack it, and it's so hard to kill because the Andlord Necromancer has 900 HP. Just delete this from the game, please.
Pretty difficult.
Ran over.
But in any case, let's take a look at the top lane, because it is that tri-lane, although Torture is TPing into the middle lane? The lane swap's coming up.
Yeah. I think it's the right rotation because Torture should fare decently against Chipper, and Oogie was getting kind of dominated by the Chipper, as he should, honestly. And now melee versus melee matchup, Oogie should be doing fine. He's
Bottom
been a lot of
lane,
harassment.
getting that engage on and trying to finish off Glacius, perhaps, but doesn't look like it's going to happen. Kraken's
they're going on the wrong target,
There you
though.
go, yeah.
They're going on the wrong target, though. They need to go on the Engineer. Like, Kraken, I said, is fine. He's too tanky to drop him down, and he's got the escape mechanism as well. If they want to go after anyone, it has to be Engineer here in the bottom lane. But he has decent positioning, though, because he's playing very, very far back. So, top lane, the Magma's dropping very, very low, and clearly showing that the rotation from Oogie top lane is the way forward here.
Yep, Oogie's able to have just a fine time up there. Looks like in the middle lane, Torture is going to fall. Lacey has shown that he don't need no boots for a rotation.
Yeah, definitely. Just good rotation. Obviously secures the lane now for Chip. He's 1-0-1. I would honestly like them to sort of put a little bit more focus, for Nullstones, put a little bit more focus on the bottom lane, perhaps maybe a Chipper gank, or even Lord Southforest to sort of sit down there. Because I know Dark Lady's got decent farm, only 270, but it's really Super KG that's really dominating this lane. He's able to really sort of stand up in the creep wave. And like I said before, the game plan for Nullstone here is to make sure you get that farm on Beaverbanger, on the Dark Lady, because if he doesn't get farmed, then he's not going to be able to really team fight until he gets the Strong and Head and Rune Cleaver. And obviously, the more you delay it, the more you delay any type of team fight coming out from Nullstone Gaming. So they really do need to sort of put as much emphasis on this bottom lane as they can.
Yeah, I'm surprised that the Glacius is not over there, but he's actually going for a kill up top. That's Chipper coming in, does have the Illusion Rune, and this is going to be a pretty easy kill onto the Oogie because he does not have a lane ward. It's going to consist of Magma stunning in, Glacius going for the freeze, and then the follow-up damage, but no, Glacius and Chipper actually choose to back up. They think that he has a ward.
Yeah, I think Mazura's playing careful. I mean, with two heroes off the map for like 20 seconds, I think BMG's alarm bells are ringing off though. And just good play count from Mazura, just backing off though, just playing a little bit defensive, maybe hatching here and there. And now if he sees him on the map, he can just start harassing Magmus again. So yeah, just good play come out from Mazura on the Oogie.
He's an okay player, man. An okay player.
Oh man, he's so good.
What do you think about the new BMG here that they've made with their recent changes?
Well, I think it's decent because I know they've had a couple of sort of attitude, or they had kind of a little bit internal conflict. I know Hackstrom is still on the team, and Mazera is actually still ringing for him, because I think Hackstrom's at DreamHack at the moment. But for Fine and Omi replacing Supporting and Zibbe, I think it's decent, because you never ever want any kind of internal conflict from a team. And although maybe Zibbe might be perhaps a little bit better than Owned Me, no flame to Owned Me, I just think Zibbe's a great player. But it doesn't matter about in terms of individual skill. As long as if it doesn't click in terms of the team, then you shouldn't be on the team perhaps. So I think it's actually probably a better decision from BMG, but I think they're going to take a little bit of time to really get back to the strong force they were before.
Yeah, Kraken in some trouble here in the bottom lane. There's the charge coming in from Dark Lady. The autos are there in South Forest, able to help pick up that kill with the, what I believe is called Mortissima. There it is.
Mortissima.
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 There you go. Invisible Torture should be able to find a kill onto the Glacius, but yeah, South Forest is the better option here. Gonna need to open up with the Impalement Stun, and down he goes. Even gets a Catman Soldier for his time. Boom, 74 gold in the pocket, man.
It's good, man. Decent.
It does feel good, man.
Anyway, top lane though, Mazera, I mean, he was doing a lot of harassment to Magnus, which is fun though. It has reduced Magnus farm a lot, but he's still only sort of skirting around the 270 GPM. But we took all mid lane though, I think.
No boots engineer.
Should be fun. But no, just going back to the Oogie though, I mean, I talked about how Oogie, he needs to get maybe at least one item before they can start team fighting, and just maybe the icon perhaps, or even maybe the Null Stone, then go from there. So I'd like to get him a little bit more farm, because I feel he's obviously closing on the Ring of Sorcery, and when she picks up the Astrolabe, that will be go time for BMG. So they all need to sort of time the pickups at the same time, maybe around the 15 to 20 minute mark. If they can all get their sort of core items at 20 minutes, then that would be go time, and then go from there.
Yeah, those timings always going to be important, and Oogie's been doing his best up here to get those items, but Magnus is getting some decent farm himself. 153 gold per minute, only sitting on 19 CS, but he got the levels, and levels of course being all important on Magnus.
Yeah, I mean, he had a hard lane. He was against Torture at the start, and Torture would break Magnus, and then when Oogie came over as well, Oogie just continued with the harassment. Like, he's doing the right spec. I think I talked about it before on Homecast, is that there's a couple of players who play Oogie where they only level 1 Tark Bacon, and they max the Conflagrate and the Kindle Fury, and I think it is the right spec to go actually middle lane. Kraken.
No, with the Kraken ultimate, should still be able to get a counter kill. Ophelia ultimate comes out late, and wow.
The bottle charges from Fuzzy Sloth.
What a
player.
That was nuts. I mean, a couple huge misplays coming out right there that you don't often see from a team like Super KG or BMG. Super KG whiffs the ultimate, and then Tankafet takes too long. They will go ahead and score another tier 2 tower here, but they should have. Maybe they won't even get the tier 2. That's a huge problem.
Yeah, I mean, Dark Lady obviously can't really commit into this team fight, so they are fighting at least 4v4 most likely, and Chip is still reaching around. I think they can get it unless they want to YOLO into it for now. Magnus, is he going to go in? Oh, they're TPing in, but they're going to get the tower. This would be a bad team fight.
The big slow coming up here from Glacius. The Vulture going to throw out the slow himself. Magnus is very low on HP. Chipper Rocket's going out. Dark Lady charging pretty far forward. She could be in some trouble, but it's going to be Oogie on his own. His Owned Me is going to be on the other side, trying to do as much damage as possible. It's not going to be enough, likely. Magnus will fall. There's the Saw Blade Showdown going out on Engineer. Dark Lady is going to be able to charge on out of there. Engie will fall. Kraken comes in, but remember, no release to Kraken as he, well, whiffed that earlier.
Yeah, oh, Chip Pass should be fine, yeah, should be fine. Honestly, a lot of misplays come out from BMG. Fine misses Keg, obviously not the easiest hit, and then Oogie was just getting completely collided from Dark Lady around the sort of this tree here. Yeah, he had a ward himself. Like, I don't know if you saw it before, but Dark Lady was literally running circles around this tree, and yeah, honestly, Mazera should have sort of backed off and sort of caught Dark Lady when she was chasing. She only had about 150 HP, and if you can get a kill like that on her, it would be really slowing down her Rune Cleaver. And honestly, if Dark Lady participates in this team fights, you have to punish her. And in the end, BMG really didn't commit enough resources to kill her. Like, she's only got like nearly 900 HP. That's like one stun, and she's gonna die, put simply. But in the end, BMG got kind of split off a little bit, and then a couple of missed spells, and as a result, Null came ahead in terms of the team fight.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. Unfortunately, Onmi decided that he was going to blow all of his mana and all of his spells on trying to kill a Lord South Forest. Not always going to work out. And so Lo4, of course, just sat there, tanked it, and healed up just as much as he wanted to with his life tap. Meanwhile, Dark Lady got away. Yeah, misplays.
Yeah. Just misplays all across the board, but again, though, Null, they did obviously still lose the tier 2 tower, though, so still something that BMG should take from this. But at this time in the game, they need to really be pushing their advantage a little bit more. When Ashley is picked up on a field in about the next maybe 5 minutes, and then maybe from there, that's where it gets a little bit scary. Oogie's got a lot of build-up, which isn't too bad, actually.
Magnus up top, and Kraken ultimate going out. So the first Kraken ult of the game to actually connect and do anything. Yeah, but they get a pretty big kill on the Magnus.
Yeah, and good patience as well. SubKG was literally standing on that high ground for like 20 seconds, and sometimes you have to do that as a playmaker. Like, just, less focus on farming and really going and looking for those kills. I think we talked about the last cast.
Chipper's in some trouble. And there's the torrent going to be coming out. The turret's not perfect. The keg isn't either, but they simply had enough spells. But even if they hit only 4 out of the 6, he was still dying.
Yeah. And this just goes back to the pickoff from Magnus as well. Like, if Magnus is still alive there, like, everyone can TP over and rotate over from Nullstone, but as well, as a result, that one pickup is such a big deal, and this is where the push starts happening. I think Ashley is picked up now on Ophelia, level 6 on Engineer, and Oogie's picked up the Ring of Sorcerer as well, so they've got a lot of these core items beef, and Nullstone simply just can't team fight. Darkblade doesn't even have her Rune Cleaver, let alone a Shrunken Head, so BMG really taking it to Nullstone Gaming, and I don't know if they can even team fight, or even if they're going to try to, but TP's coming in.
They are going to try. Keg going to be coming out. Lo4 is already low on HP. Torture stun coming in. Magnus going to hit 2 with his stun. Ophelia ultimate not going to be enough, and a huge glacial downpour there doing a lot of damage. Oogie is going to fall. Really questionable positioning right there. Kraken going to be out of mana. He's going to be left to the wolves. Engineer going to be trying to run away. Magnus is in position to get the rundown here, but it looks like Engineer will be sent back home. Magnus going to be punished for his indiscretions here. Maybe.
Oh my god, the Glacier stun.
Oh my god.
Oh, no. Wow,
they clean it up right there. Really, really well played by the Glaciers over here on Trent.
Like, again, but I mean, I hate to say it, but BMG, they're making some really questionable decisions. That's fine. That they should push the tier 2 tower. Nullstone Gaming shouldn't really have the ability to actually defend these, because obviously Darkblade doesn't have a Shrunken Head yet. Every single time Nullstone Gaming try and take a team fight, there's misplays coming out from BMG. Again, like, there was just a little bit of communication in that respect. I think half the team from BMG were backing off. They were in a bad position in the first place. They couldn't get the best initiation, and they dove a little bit too far. A couple of people were a little bit too committed. And as a result, Nullstone Gaming just took advantage of the miscoordination from BMG, picking off the heroes when they weren't really near the Ophelia. I don't think that the Ashley was even used in that team fight as well. So, yeah, I mean, they're running this sort of team fight sort of style of draft, which is good. I really do like the draft, but they're not really executing it as perfectly as they should do.
Yeah, it's a draft with minimal margin for error. And on the other side, I mean, they're able to take fights early. They're able to, make a few mistakes and make comebacks happen in this game. The Hellborn lineup is not that way. You make a few mistakes like they've made, and all of a sudden you're in a pretty terrible position. 15-minute Battle Fury can be coming out here on the Dark Lady, so she's going to be using that to cleave things down here and get farmed up as best as she can. But on the other side, I mean, you've got an Oogie that he's got some items, but he's still barely over 300 gold per minute. I've got to think that Oogie's win rate below, a certain threshold of gold, maybe 380 or 400 or something, probably is pretty low.
Yeah, definitely. And another issue with the team fight as well is that you can siege the base without any kind of initiation, but every single time Nullstone Gaming do try and defend the push, then BMG have to back off as a team. Like, they got to split off a little bit, and that's only if they don't have any kind of initiation. But I mean, Kraken hasn't even got portal keys. He's actually going for Helmblack Legion, which is fine. But I mean, any kind of good old Kraken. Oh, Kraken. Sorry, mate. Caster's Curse is real. But yeah, like, they don't have any kind of initiation or any kind of good lockdown coming out from the Kraken, because he doesn't have a portal key on him. And in that last team fight was really evidence of that. And I don't know what Helmblack Legion is really going to do for him. Okay, we got a portal key on Torturer, but he's not going to be able to land good charges and release the Krakens if he doesn't have a portal key B. So I don't know. It's looking a little bit honestly rough coming out from BMG. They'll have to really try and turn this one around.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of going the Helmblack Legion here. I think I agree with you on that initiation, but Quincy's got it hooked up with the stat here. Above 400 GPM, 100% win rate. Below, 0% win rate. So
that's
gotta
crazy.
hit that 400 GPM, boys.
That's actually insane. That's so funny, but it looks like he's going to actually Icon of the Goddess, which I think is the right decision to make because they're trying to make teamfights happen. They're trying to make kills happen, and if you can get those early charges on Oogie, the regeneration you can get from it can just be one of the best heroes to actually benefit from. Actually, Glacius
finds the Glacius and should go down. And will. Dark Lady very close there, but unfortunately the Hellborn team are not aware. They are going to be looking to push this tower, though.
And I'm really kind of surprised Null Gamer are even in that position. Like Dark Lady should be the one pushing mid. And actually split pushing, yet she was kind of almost looking like she was going to try and defend. Like I think Null Gamer should try and leave all outer towers and just try and split push until the the Shrunken Head is picked up on Dark Lady. I really do hope she misses the Abyssal Skull and then goes Shrunken Head first, because if she goes the Abyssal Skull, she's going to be so far behind in terms of any kind of T-fighting items. She can pick up the Abyssal Skull after Shrunken Head, but Shrunken Head is definitely a must here.
So the trade there for the tier 1 tower. But it looks like the Hellborn team are content to at least try to push this bottom tower a little bit more. Magnus does have the portal key though, and they've got 4 players here already set up. Dark Lady would be the one to TP in a little bit later, and the Hellborn team, they've got to be very careful about taking this fight. Kraken is on the back side, Helm of the Black Legion in hand. But it looks like the Hellborn team just going to go ahead and fall back. They did bait the TPs. And portal key into a 2-man stun coming out into the Kraken ultimate, and down go 2 immediately. Magnus with the huge eruption though, getting the stun onto Only, but Magnus is going to fall right into that Engineer ultimate. There's going to be a buyback coming back here on Fuzzy Sloth. Dark Lady on the front lines. The barrage going out. All 3 connect onto Super KGE, and he's down. 4 staff going to be going forward. And Chipper going to be trying to hit those rockets. 1 TP's out. They're not connecting on Oogie, so he's going to need another one right here. Needs to hit something!
Oh, that is actually a really good TP though, coming out from Oogie, like, because I think he knew he was going to die either way because Dark Lady was chasing, but holy moly, man, that double stun coming from Odin, man, jeez, they literally won the fight just because of that. They burst down Lord Southrise and I think it was Chipper just in those like 2 seconds of the stun from Torturer, so just absolutely great initiation, and that's the kind of initiation they need. And I mean, I thought they was going to get that if they had a portal key on Kraken, but clearly a portal key on Torturer is enough of initiation from BMG, and this is where it gets a little bit scary though, because obviously Dark Lady doesn't have a Shrunken Head unless she's picked it up now.
Nope,
what's
just
on the courier? Ooh, I don't like that item choice at all. I mean, it's going to help her increase our farm, no doubt, but I mean, BMG, they want to take team fights until they get racks practically, and this Abyssal Skull is going to do nothing in terms of team fights, really. And the Shrunken Head is really good where it's going to be needed, and like we saw in the last team fight, if she has a Shrunken Head there, she can go ham and just go YOLO, but without it, then she has to play incredibly pussy, as we saw there. So.
Yeah, and right now I think the best choice of options for the guys in Nullstone might be to turtle out as long as they can on that final tier 2 tower, but not take any engagements, give up the Gongor if they do need to, and just try to buy the 4 or 5 minutes that it's going to take this Dark Lady to get farmed on that Shrunken Head and then defend base.
Yeah, put it simply, every single time BMG group up, you need Dark Lady and Magnus, because they're probably the 2 best split pushes in the game for Legion right now. Whenever BMG group up, they need to be split pushing lanes. Like tier 1 top is still open, and that should be really Dark Lady's next objective. You want to sort of split the map open as much as possible, because BMG's team fight is just too strong now until the Shrunken Head is picked up on Dark Lady. Sort of just denying any kind of, or at least getting good trades is the most important thing. If BMG do get the tier 2 tower bot, then you have to get the tier tower top in that aspect. Otherwise, they're going to be falling so far behind in golden experience. And like you said, just farm. Just defend the base is the game aim of the game here for Null Gaming.
Yeah, and I think they should be able to do that without any major issues. The guys from BMG are already headed down into that bottom lane one more time, just trying to get something done here. Did pick up a bound eye on Tankafet's Ophelia, so I mean, one of the best Ophelia players in the scene, just consistently being able to get the job done. Has the right items here with the Ring of Sorcery, the Astrolabe, the full steam boots, and of course the vestments. Always important against the Chipper, the Glacius, the Magnus, those kinds of things to get your spells off. You're probably going to need those vestments. But doing a little bit of scouting with the bound eye, and BMG going to be walking on in and saying, all right, tower, you're ours this time.
Yeah, and look at Nelson Gaming, they're doing the right thing. Dark Lady, well, she's farming the enemy jungle, but at least Magnus is pushing the top lane, so at least one of the two things is being done here for Null Gaming, but I think the split push from Magnus is just a little bit too slow, honestly, because BMG are already at the tier 2 tower, and they're not going to stop. They're going to keep going into the racks, most likely. As long as Dark Lady doesn't have the Shrunken, BMG have such an advantage in terms of team fight, because Dark Lady just simply can't participate, or she's going to get blown up by the Torturer, Engineer, and Oogie, so...
Yeah, and like you said, they're just going to go ahead and make their way to the base. The Mountain Eye was going off right there to check for any wards that might have been up, but this is it. High ground going to be coming over, and it's now going to be up to Nullstone to mount a defense. BMG going to be falling back. That's a portal key on out of there by Torture, so BMG showing they really want to get out of here. Got to be wary of the fake back here if you're Nullstone. Should probably be using a rocket or two to do some scouting, but it looks like they are going to fall all the way back. TP into the top lane from Torture as he clears that one out. And will they go for Kongor is the question.
I think they should, though, because I think they should really try and find, at least take a team fight, another team fight before the Shrunken Head is picked up on Dark Lady, though. Because they should come out so far ahead. The only issue is that we're all top lane.
A very big kill right there under Torture as Dark Lady and Magnus combo on in.
Yeah, that should delay the sort of any kind of push or any kind of action from BMG for about 40 seconds. So like you said, a very, very key pick up here coming out from Null Gaming. Going to try and delay the push as much as possible. And I think that might be Shrunken Head and Dark Lady. I don't know if she's got the Warhammer yet or not, but if that's Shrunken Head already, BMG might going to have a lot harder time pushing up high ground. If that's the case.
Pretty sure she's still short on the Warhammer there.
Yeah, she would have picked it up probably by now, if you're right. Yeah, you're pretty right, Biff. But like, just because of that one pick-off, the BMG are just sort of forced to try and find a pick-off in the jungle. They weren't able to take Congo, they were not able to take high ground, but all Chipper.
Let's have a look.
Yeah, and any kind of initiation, as you can see, again, is just a little bit lacking. Obviously, they killed the Torturer, so really Chipper can farm that aggressively because he knows he can get away with it. Like, Oogie's not going to be able to catch him if he's got full stuff. Neither is Kraken or Engineer, so... Yep, a little bit of lack of initiation hurting BMG once again, but they're going to rotate over to Congo now, which is the right decision to make. But Dark Lady's still about 600, 700 gold, so she might be able to farm it until the next team fight in terms of high ground, but we'll have to see.
Should be falling pretty dang quick right here, which means they're going to put a 5-minute timer on themselves to actually get something done with the Token of Life. Unfortunately, that's going to coincide pretty much exactly with when Dark Lady is going to finish up on her.
That was one big ass monkey.
The triple stack ancient should be enough. Dark Blades into the charging strikes, into the auto attacks, and dead dragons. Dead dragons everywhere. Shrunken Head will be acquired, and there it is. So at this point, it comes down to the initiation, I feel like. If Dark Lady is able to get her Shrunken Head off with anybody else on the team slowing and stunning anything, I believe that Nullstone should be winning that fight.
Yeah, definitely, man. And you're always going to have such a hard time pushing high ground when you have some great initiations like Magnus on top of the chip area as well. So honestly, BMG, even though they do have token on Torturer, they have to be very, very careful of the positioning because 2 or 3 man stun from Magnus can easily spell the end of the team fight with a charging strikes with Dark Plays from Dark Lady. Like that team fight is going to be over before it even started if they're not careful. So I mean, I think they can take high ground, but they've got to do it very, very slow, like a slow push, and just sort of siege the base very slowly. They should go bottom as well, though. The tower's already got about 50% HP, so this is where, honestly, I think they should put token onto Oogie, because if they have token on Oogie, then he can sort of be up on the front ground. Actually, bottom lane, they're going in, though.
Yeah, they are going in, indeed, and Torture is going to lose the token of life right here. Magnus is going to get double force staffed out of there, but there's the Kraken ultimate, or the Kraken charge going to be coming back on in. Dark Lady Shrunken Head on up, and she is trying to go to work, but not able to really find anything. Walks right into the Kraken ultimate. Dark Lady could be in some trouble. Glacial Downpour going to be doing some damage, but the charge going to be going off, and Dark Lady is on the run after both Lord Salforest and Glacius fall. Magnus had to buy out right there, and I was really, really questionable about the guys over here at Nullstone Gaming.
Yeah, I mean, I have to admit, I do like the sort of initiative and kind of like the innovation they try to show there. Like, I think Oogie was farming mid. They said, guys, just try and go 4v5, but the initiation was a little bit bad, honestly. They couldn't burst anyone down, and then Oogie came over and they committed.
A big ultimate right here, man. Here it is.
Yeah, always turning
it up, and we'll get the double stun onto 2. Torture is going to fall. And down goes Ophelia as well. Magnus going to be the one victimized by the charge right there. Engineer should fall with one more auto if Dark Lady can ever find him. Engineer's going to get out of there. Some really just grade A jukes. Stun going to be coming in right here. Into the Saw Blade Showdown as well as the Tar Toss, and Oogie will fall. So, Millstone, they're able to redeem themselves. They show that they don't need that shrunken head if they get perfect initiation.
You're 100% correct, Beef. And the last team fight was, I mean, I did like the idea of what they were trying to do. Obviously, they were going to try and put BMG, take them off guard in that respect. But the initiation was a little bit poor in the first first instance, but that one was so much easier because I mean, like I said, like pushing high ground is just so hard against initiations like Magnus because here's a two-man lion stun with the lava surge and then the eruption, and Darkly will come in and just blow up instantly, and then the team fight's 5v3 before it even started. So yeah, I think BMG really needs to go back to the drawing board and try and find what's the next strategy involved here, because simply we just can't push now that they've got the portal key and Magnus, they've got the Shrunken and Dark Lady, because they need to think quickly, otherwise Dark Lady's going to most likely start taking this game, Beef.
I think you might be right, and the thing that kind of worries me the most when I look at this team here from BMG is who's supposed to be on the front line. Because I mean, the Ophelia creeps, probably. The Ophelia and the Torture were there on the front line. The Torture certainly makes sense, but if he's on the front line, why does he have the portal key? Like, he needs something to be able to stand tall. Ophelia was up there. Ophelia should never be on the front line like that, hitting the tower.
No, you're right, man. Like, and this is what I was trying to say before. I think the team fight happened. I'm really being putting a token on Torture is great. It's one of the best token carries. But the one issue that not putting the token on Oogie is that Oogie, if Oogie has the token there, he can just sort of bang on the tower by himself. He's got token. If Null don't initiate onto Oogie, then that's that's good for BMG, because then they can counter initiate. And Oogie, if he falls, he's got the token. But you put it on Torture, and then Oogie, if he does go up, then he could easily die, and then Torture can drop twice, and then with Ophelia as well. It's like, why are you even there in the sort of up in the team fight? And Magnus actually, he is going to drop, and yeah. So just going back to the token though, I think if they put it on Oogie, he can just siege the tower by himself, and not have to worry about getting initiated because he's got that token with Torture.
Realistically, if Torture hadn't lost the token in that initial fight where things had gone so poorly for Null, Torture would have been able to do mostly the same thing.
He's only got 1300 HP though. He's gonna die just to sort of the spam from rockets or a sort of a zoning stun from Magnus and Glass Imprisonment. But yeah, I know what you mean. But in the end, they're gonna try again though. Magnus is down though, so maybe this is their opening here.
But the problem is they've put themselves on a timer with the Magnus. They've also got Shrunken Head coming in for Torture. Torture would really like to have a Shrunken Head. What? Looks like there's going to be the glyph. Magnus could use his second and final buyback right now. And there's the Salt Blade Showdown going to be going in. The ultimate from Lord Salfor is going to be going out onto Oogie. And this defensive tower is...
Shrunken Head pops on Dark Lady.
Oh, yeah. This might have been a little bit premature. She's not going to be able to get anything out of this. And this is going to be go time for the guys on Nullstone.
This is bad.
Now, the most important thing for them is to not get hit by the exact same combo as before. Magnus is in position with the ultimate.
But yeah, I mean, that's what I mean. But you saw Oogie, they blow their Salt Blade Slowdown and the ulti from Lord Salforus, and he just laughs at it. If he has the token as well, he can keep going up and up and up. But if that's the Torture, he would most likely die and then lose the token. So again, I think the next token should definitely go on Oogie. But yeah, they have to be careful with this Magnus Eruption. You know what happened last time, Beef?
I do remember, and there's no glyph available at this point. The tower almost in deny range here. They just need to get a few auto attacks in on it.
They should stun from keg. They should keg this sort of trees over here, as long as with Torture as well, because they got caught by it last time, and Magnus hasn't been seen yet. So I think they should honestly keg all these trees up here in the bottom lane and make sure they don't get a two-man stun again from Magnus.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I think that would be a really, really good idea, but at least so far, not going to be going for it. Oogie is looking like he wants to step up onto the top lane right here. There's the Eruption going to be going out, and Magnus is going to get the two-man stun. Not perfect this time, though, because Dark Lady is not there. Torture going to be popping the Shrunken Head on the front side. Engineer going to be annihilated by the Dark Lady right there, and it looks like everybody from BMG is just trying to retreat on out of there. Super KGE does have another blink in about 5 seconds, but I do not think he's going to be able to get it off. The rockets are going out. Not going to happen. So Kraken is going to fall. And
I mean that. Yeah, I mean, just sorry, not to interrupt you, but I mean, the Magnus initiation wasn't as good as the last one, but honestly, that's to the credit of BMG. But it was still enough, though. Like, you just got that two-man stun. Dark Lady popped the Shrunken Head, instantly bursted down the Engineer and Ophelia, and now this is where BMG are in a really bad situation because they've lost the last two team fights on the bounce now, and most likely going to lose the third one. And they don't have the ability to sort of take it super late because they're going against the Dark Lady, and they don't have the great split push potential either. And I honestly think they've missed their timing, they've missed their potential. They had a good go at it, but now this is definitely in the hands of Null Gaming now. They're pushing the tier 1 tower bot, the 2-2 tower top, bot as well. And yeah, this is where it gets incredibly scary for BMG because the game is no longer in their hands.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, we talked about the timings, we talked about the power curves all throughout the early game, and BMG, I said it once and I'll say it again, they were playing a lineup with minimal error, minimal margin for error, and they made two mistakes. They made too many mistakes. At this point, I mean, it's kind of in the hands of Nullstone to just play well and not really give their opponents any opportunities. But
yeah, I mean, these Magnus initiations have been like godly as well. Like, obviously we had like an insane torture stun in the last sort of couple of team fights before, but although I mean Magnus hasn't been playing incredibly well in terms of his farm, he's 1, 5, and 10. Just those two initiations there have won him the last two team fights. So like, it's those kind of players you really want on your team. Like, okay, yeah, they might have a bad start, but it's the clutch plays. Like, if they lose the first team fight there, if they don't get a good Magnus eruption or they don't get a good Magnus initiation, then most likely they're going to lose the racks and then lose the game. But just because he made some two clutch big initiations the last two team fights, Nullstone are still in this game. So honestly, already, I think the MVP for me is Magnus in this game.
Yeah, Charles Simone's been doing some work over there. I don't know. I think that Chipper's actually been doing some pretty serious work here as well. Got to give credit to Fuzzy Sloth.
Fuzzy Sloth, I think. You gotta love that. I think this guy's from like Bolivia, though. Cholo Simeon, Bolivian Cholo Simeon.
Bolivian?
Bolivia. He's from Bolivia, I believe. From what I've heard.
Not bad. Double damage Dark Lady gonna be running on up here. She does have another 29 seconds on this, so they are hunting, and they are going to walk right by a ward of sight. Instead, going to take the tier 2 tower in the middle lane. Always odd hearing the double damage attack sound against like 5 creeps at once. Blows up my headphones now. And TP's back now for Ophelia and crew.
Yeah, Nullstone Gaming like so far ahead in this game though. They've got like 10,000 gold lead, 16,000 experience, and they have the harder late game. Carry me, like you just compare Oogie to Dark Lady, and it's just like wow. Level 21 Dark Lady compared to a level 16 Oogie. And yeah, I mean Oogie can do a lot of work, but he doesn't seem to be doing as much as Glacius. Oh, close, I couldn't catch him, but yeah, just not doing as much heavy lifting as Dark Lady, but they're going to rotate over and do Congo.
Oh wow, this is so risky. I mean, when you're this far behind, you need to make big risky plays like this.
Yep,
otherwise,
agreed.
you don't really. This is the only way that you are able to bring it back of your own volition and not wait for mistakes from the opponent. But looks like the guys from the Legion team are a little bit aware of it, and Kraken going to miss the charge right there. Now he's going to be in some serious trouble himself. Kraken ultimate going to go out. Torture is going to be able to finish off Chipper pretty immediately. Oogie pops off his ultimate, but here comes Dark Lady. Shrunken Head activated. Down goes Ophelia, and she's going to turn around and actually take out the energy field so the team can get into the battle right now. But Shrunken Head is now expired on Dark Lady. Oogie going to pop off his Shrunken Head. The chain reaction going to miss right now, but the sun going to be coming out onto TDL. The more Satisima going to be able to finish it off the Kraken. Oogie has been able to take out Magnus on the backside here, and now Oogie as well as Engineer running. But still 3 up from the Legion side. Will they take Kongor as their prize?
Yeah, I mean, Engineer might be getting caught up here as well.
It's a nice keg, really nice keg.
Yeah, a really good keg there coming out from Fun there. He was dead if he doesn't hit that keg. But yeah, I mean, BMG actually weren't doing too bad in the team fight, and until Dark Lady came in, she was like about 5 or 10 seconds late, and then she came in, popped the Shrunken Head, and just ripped apart Ophelia and Torture there in the team fight. And they did obviously get to burst down Chipper and Magnus, but I think they just sort of, both teams just allowed the carries to go on a rampage. Like, Oogie was going after the Null Stone team, and Dark Lady was going after the BMG team, and in the end, Dark Lady should a little bit more work than Oogie here. They're going to try and actually defend this to Congo, though.
And there's the Shrunken Head being activated here in Null Stone. I don't know if that's... Oogie did actually get it right here, and he's going hard, trying to do some damage. Going to be popping back up to life right now, but Dark Lady can turn around. No, she's going to turn and run. And I do not think you should be chasing right now, BMG. Fuzzy's going to be running forward right here. Has the opportunity to actually get a kill if he wanted to. Dark Lady charges forward, tries to find the Kraken. Wasn't quite able to. But that kind of shows you right there. When Dark Lady gets that Shrunken Head off, there's not a lot to be done.
Glacius.
And
this could be big, actually.
Pretty decent turret, but yeah, Glacius with the invis and gets the freeze off. There's the push stick forward. Engineer's gonna die. Beaver Banger getting the double tap right here, and this should be the game as they run down Ophelia. Rocket slows them, and here comes the more Certissima, as well as the ultimate coming in, and that's it. GG's coming out from our guys at Bad Monkey Gaming is Nullstone. They look damn good right here, man. They
look really good.
They bid their They bid their time? They used the spell bide on their time.
No one is going to
and
save you.
we're able to survive the enemy timings. BMG made a few too many mistakes, and
yeah,
at the end, they come out on top.
Yeah, I mean, I think BMG could have took that game, though. Or bided. Quincy's saying bided, but
Bided?
I don't believe him. I think it did. Anyway, back to the point. I think BMG could have definitely took that game, though. There was a few, honestly, they didn't capitalise on Nullstone sort of mistakes.